Welcome. It is time to illuminate the path to your true potential.
God is sending you this message at this hour, in this minute, on this day, this evening, whatever it is for you. This might be heavy. This is reaching those who need a sign of encouragement, of hope, of renewal. God sent me in a very different direction today, and I was not planning on recording this video. And on top of that, I was not planning to end up here. This is off the beaten path. I took a very different route after checking on something earlier today, and I went in a different direction for my walk. And along my walk, I saw a Northern Cardinal. Northern Cardinals are common in the state of Georgia, and they appear in all the counties here. It's a year-round bird. They don't migrate. And I got this message. This is a prophetic word coming from the cardinal through God, from God through the cardinal, through me, to give this message. Cardinals may be significant for you. I'm hearing Arizona Cardinals. There may be something about you used to live in Arizona. You are from Arizona. That's not for everybody, but you're moving to Arizona, you're leaving Arizona, whatever that is. I do have Santorini on my shirt. This has to do maybe something with Greece, the Greeks, Greek mythology, Greek food. Maybe you need to go to Mediterranean diet. Anyway, I get so many messages, not even funny, so bear with me on this. But going back to the Arizona Cardinals, there's that. There's also, I'm hearing Payback. Payback is actually the call sign for one of the fighter pilots in Maverick in that movie. The Top Gun stuff keeps coming up for a reason. So if you don't already know, if you are seeing cardinals, if you see a cardinal after this, that is a huge, huge, huge sign. Cardinals, first of all, they are known to defend their gardens, like with honor, like they don't play around. They're also known to fight their own reflections in windows, thinking that they're fighting a rival or they're trying to defend something against a rival. Now, when I saw that, when I looked up cardinals, because I have other messages about what cardinals mean, fighting their own reflections. Some of you are fighting yourself. Maybe you're beating yourself up. Maybe you're thinking that you are your own rival, or maybe God is trying to tell you, you are your own worst enemy. Some of you are getting in your own way. Some of you are causing your own grief, your own suffering. This is a very tough message, but this needs to be disseminated to those this is coming across, because the divine truth needs to be put out there. It's very challenging because a lot of people don't want to hear the truth. Trust me, I've been there, done that, okay? But when you are able to face the truth with courage, with conviction, with faith and with hope, difficult words from God, prophetic words from God, no matter what type of message is disseminating, no matter of what nature, of what circumstance, of what, of the feeling that it brings you, prophetic messages and words of truth, divine truth, won't really cause you to fall into despair. They won't cause you to give into fear, worry, uncertainty. They won't cause you to fall into anger, into resentment or bitterness, or saying, oh, like, no, that's not me, or that's not true, or I can't believe, this is this. Remember, if anything triggers you, that is a sign from God. When you feel that there is a truth about you, or about a situation, or about someone that you are afraid to face, you do not want to come to terms with, you do not want to listen to, because you know deep down inside it is true. And with the cardinals, when they're fighting their own reflections, okay, some of you may look at yourself in the mirror and do not like what you see. Some of you may be looking at something, or maybe there's somebody in your vicinity, a relationship, a twin flame, a marriage, a best friend, a job, that is mirroring back to you something that you need to pay attention to. And cardinals are also signs from God. You need to pay attention to your surroundings and listen to your intuition and really start to see, what are you really fighting against? Is it really necessary for you to fight against that thing? Is it necessary for you to fight against yourself? Stop getting in your own way. Cardinals are red. Red is the color of passion, of love. Cardinals are also signs of love, of partnerships, okay? But partnerships with people who are aligned with you in your truth, who are aligned with who you really are. If you are trying to fight to stay in a relationship when you know it's not working, when you know you're not on the same page, or you may be fighting against trivial things or things that are not of value, or maybe you just don't see eye to eye, right? What is really of value in a relationship? Cardinals are known to fly in pairs. They're normally seen in pairs. The one I saw was not. So that could very well be a sign for some of you if you're looking for a partnership or you're in one right now and it's just not working out. Some of you need to fly solo. Some of you may be worried about grieving a relationship. You've been in for a long time. Some of you may be, because Cardinals are a sign of grief, of transition, and they also bring renewal and hope. So for some of you, because Cardinals tie into partnerships as well, you may be looking at this marriage or this relationship. It's like, you know what? I don't want to be in this. Or I've invested too much time. Oh my God. I don't know what animals these are, guys. I think they're frogs. You see, they weren't chirping when I started this video. No matter where I go, I'm drawing nature to me. I'm drawing animals, and they're confirming things. Some of you may be needing to listen to the chirping behind me and be honest. Like, some of you have the ability to interpret messages from animals, okay? I'm hearing singing a song. Cardinals are known for their distinctive songs, the way that they sing, right? Some of you may need to be a singer, or you want to be a singer, or you got to sing your heart out, okay? Whatever this is, because there's so many messages, and it may seem like I'm over the place because I get so many things at so many different times, and I'm only human, and I'm trying to get all the messages out that my guides and my angels are trying to disseminate through me to you. But with the transition, right, you may be in a relationship or in a situation, whatever this is, and with that color red, you gotta find the passion within you, the courage, the confidence. Be secure in yourself. I'm hearing the word self-assurance, okay? To break away from whatever this is. To break up with that person, to file the divorce papers, to break up with that job, to sign your resignation or submit your resignation, to be honest with somebody and say, look, you know, this is not working. And even though I've invested 10 years, 5 years, 20 years, 26 years, 35 years, whatever this is, in a job, in a relationship, I don't know, you're afraid to be alone. You're afraid to fly solo. You know, this time is wasted. No time is wasted, okay? If you're in this situation where you know that it's like you don't want to deal with the loss, you don't want to deal with the grieving. This could also be dealing with passed on loved ones. Cardinals are a sign that a passed on loved one is here right now for you. I'm hearing a grandmother, a grandfather, a mom, a daughter, a son. You've lost someone. It could be anyone, but I'm hearing those three: grandfather, grandmother, daughter, son, mother, now uncle. I'm getting very strongly a daughter and a son, or a daughter. The daughter is really coming in strongly now. You could have lost a daughter in the physical world, or you feel like you're losing a daughter, like in the spiritual, like my daughter is no longer Catholic, or is no longer Jewish, or my daughter is no longer, or this person is no longer following the faith, or they're doing this that seems wrong, or it seems evil, it seems not of God, whatever this is. I'm losing someone. Take this how this resonates, but listen, we're all gonna deal with loss, okay? For me, it hasn't been a lot of loss with death, in the physical world, it's been a lot of loss in the physical world with jobs, friendships. I am a divorced person. My son did end up moving last year to go live with his father in Texas. That's a little bit of a loss, but not a technical loss, okay? God replaces what we've lost with bigger, better, greater things. And we gain more wisdom and more power and more self-assuredness when we understand what the meaning of that loss is. Sometimes we're never going to understand it, but sometimes there is something there for us to look at, right? And again, with cardinals being a sign of departed loved ones, that could be a message for you. Okay, some of you need to go back to connect with your ancestors, to connect with your past on loved ones, because a lot of you right now, they're giving you a message. So either you pause this video, or after this video, you sit there and you pray. You go out in nature. Maybe some of your past on loved ones loved nature. They loved being outside. Maybe they were good with animals. Okay, they went around and picked up trash or something. You know, they were something of a peacekeeper, a peacemaker, someone who just loved the earth. Okay, loved to be outside, whatever it is, but. Some of you need to go outside and go talk to this person, whoever this past on loved one is. Now, if this person is still on this earth, this is a chance for you to telepathically talk to them. Okay, we do have this thing called ESP, as my mother calls it. We do have this thing where we can connect with our loved ones, even though they're still alive, but they're someplace else. Just like how we talk to God. Is that a plane? It's there. I know you guys heard it. This is the second video with planes. I can't see that's a United Airlines plane. If United Airlines has something to do with you, believe this is your message. You need to be united with your passed on loved one. You need to be united more with God. Someone is asking you to unite with them, what's it called? Commence? No, there's a C word, communicate, but there's another word, commune with them, okay? You're being asked by some passed on loved one or someone who's here, but maybe you distance yourself from them or they distance themselves from you, reunite or unite back with them in the spirit. If you're afraid to reach out to them in the physical, contact them in the spiritual, okay? We all have this gift. We do. Why? Because we're children of God. Why? Because God does that with us. We cannot see God. We cannot touch God, but we can feel him. We can hear him. Okay? So this is for some of you to understand. This is time, the right time for you to connect with God, with nature, with the passed on loved ones, whatever that is. Some of you have been afraid to tap into that because you don't want to feel the pain again. You don't want to feel the loss again. But look, grieving is a process. It's part of the letting go, guys. Okay? And I'm getting very strongly, Archangel Azrael is here. Okay? Some of you need to call upon Archangel Azrael to help you get some comfort, to help you with this transition. Okay? Whatever this is. Some of you, you're transitioning from being a mother to not having any kids or something, or a parent not having any kids, or like your empty nesters, your kids are getting older, whatever, you did lose a child. You're transitioning from, being in a happy state to being in a grieving state. Again, all this comes in cycles, all right? It's part of the death rebirth process. Azrael is part of that too, but it helps us to fortify ourselves more in God, okay? It helps us to really understand that God is always here. As difficult as this is may be for you, God is always here. Now, not all of you are dealing with a death, okay? That's for some of you. Cardinals also bring messages of hope, of new beginnings, of renewal, okay? For those of you who are not dealing with a death, okay, just take that for what it is, because maybe some of you are going to go through a death, and it's going to be hard, or some sort of big loss, and you're going to grieve, okay? And this message is going to prepare you for that, or you may want to go back to this message to help you through this, okay? Know that, I know for me, when I lost everything in the physical world, and I got divorced, and later on my son moved on to live with his dad, and I lost all my friends, and I resigned from my career as a systems engineer, and I let go of the 3D world and all these things, and I had to be in solitude, and I had to be with God. I ended up spending so much time in nature, and God spoke to me so loudly and so clearly and so profoundly. I felt that presence of God, and this is why he tends to have me do these prophetic words out in nature, and this is such a beautiful, beautiful spot. And as I was walking past this, God says, I want you to go walk down there, step out of your comfort zone, don't give into fear of what's down there, what if people are going to be seeing you. Now Kellers can't see me here, because God didn't want me to get distracted, and he didn't want somebody to maybe stop at the side of the road and be like, oh, hey, what are you recording or whatever, you know what I mean? Solitude, okay? During my time of loss, when God said, leave that job, and I started my spiritual business, and I started my YouTube channel, I was doing these readings and helping people, illuminate their well-being, and to help them, give them counsel and stuff. And even then, where the money really wasn't coming in like I had thought it did, and then it dropped off. And when I lost my house and I had to move out of Maryland and move back in with my parents, with my son and everything, it took a spiritual toll. But God was preparing me to be strong enough to deal with that. And all that I lost, I ended up starting to get major blessings. All these miracles start to happen. And I had miracles happen before I went through all those losses. But I was transitioning and letting go of the old Jessica to align more with the Jessica that God wanted me to be. To not be of the material world, just to be in it, but to withstand all the storms with grace, with fortitude, with willpower, with hope, and with faith. To withstand all the challenges and the obstacles that God was, and the enemy were going to throw my way, because God does kind of get into that too, okay? To deal with the spiritual warfare, to come out of the fire unscathed and unburned, right? And God gave me the ability through all of that. I gained so much wisdom, I gained so much strength, and I gained a very strong relationship with God. And it's still growing. It's still forming into something that is beyond anything I could have imagined, right? And I know it's funny as I say this, I'm getting the word that God is going to start preparing me to deal with the family losses that are soon to come. That's what I got for myself. Because there hasn't been a death in my family for a very long time. And I know that my parents aren't getting any younger. I still have grandparents who are in their 90s now. And I've actually been helping my grandparents to try help them to transition, to prepare for their coming of their passing and other things like that. And, this isn't to say that it's easy, because it's not. But these losses help us to prepare for these difficult times, right? It's not the greatness of the giant, of the Goliath. It's the greatness of God. That's what King David said before he was king. This is to rejoice in the Lord always, even through times of grief, even through times of transition and challenge and strife. Because joy comes in the morning. I know that's a biblical reference, but God is saying don't be a perfectionist in knowing exactly what scripture is, because I don't need to know that. I just need to know the words. And so God is asking you today, for whatever this is, okay, for you, know that it is going to get better. Life ebbs and flows, things come and go. The sun always sets to rise. Some of you may need to listen to that Paradise song by Coldplay. I remember when I was going through my transition and God delivered that song to me. He had it show up on, I don't know, my Spotify feed or something. Some of you really need to listen to music to lift your spirits up. And I listened to that song, and as beautiful and gorgeous and uplifting as that song is, there was one time that I bawled my eyes out. I burst into tears, and I had a very good, snotty, ugly cry, as they call it, right? Allow yourself to do that. You are releasing as you do this. You are releasing as you let yourself grieve and you let yourself cry, and stop being a hard ass and stop thinking, I have to be tough all the time. No, you don't. That is not human. You are not a robot. You're not. You really aren't. You need to unite with God, unite with your feelings, unite with the fact that you're a human being and you are entitled to grieve. You're entitled to cry. You're entitled to even get angry, but just don't stay in it for too long. Some of you are staying in something for too long and you know it, and it's like you just don't want to come out of that funk. But this is your sign. This is your message to do it. Face what this is. Face the fear. Understand that life still exists. Time keeps on going. The world continues to revolve. I'm hearing The Wheel in the Sky by Journey. Some of you need to listen to that song too. Oh, the wheel in the sky keeps on turning. I think that was flat, but it doesn't matter. I don't know where I'll be tomorrow. Wheel in the sky keeps on turning. Right? Oh, I love me some Steve Perry. Anyway. And Journey. Anyway. Did you guys see that? I think a fish just jumped up out of there. I don't know what it was. But that's a sign. That was confirmation. Some of you need to listen to that song. And the confirmation. I don't know where I'll be tomorrow. Oh, look at the bird. Did you guys see that? I'm telling you, man. God does not play around with the signs and synchronicities with the animals here, okay? The bird. Soar above this, okay? You've got this. Wheel in the sky keeps on turning. There's always cycles, okay? There's always cycles, but when the next time around, when you come through the trenches and the valleys, it's going to be easier for you to handle, right? The bigger the Goliath, the stronger you become, the more faithful you become, the more self-assured you become in yourself to know that you can handle anything and you can overcome anything, right? Now, for those of you who are still stuck in the grieving, stuck in the bitterness, stuck in the anger, it's not gonna get you anywhere. It just won't. And at 22:22, as I was saying that, and there's another plane. Okay? I don't know where it is, but it's there. Hopefully, it's so bright out here, I can't even see myself. Some of you probably saw it. If you didn't, doesn't matter, but you heard it. I know you heard it. That's a second plane. There's something here about, you got to get out of your funk, okay? Because life was meant to be lived. It wasn't meant to be, we weren't meant to be in perpetual suffering, perpetual grief, anger, and look, the birds are now chirping. I'm telling you, man, like, what was that? You see all of nature confirming one after the other. You can't make it up. It was very quiet when I sat down here. But you need to understand, you got to look at the world around you and revel in the beauty and the love and the likeness of God. There is joy somewhere. And I know through my own grief, my own hardship, and all these things that I've gone through for years, every time I went out into nature, I felt uplifted. I felt better, and then God would speak to me, and then I would get these signs and synchronicities, and everything would start to line up. Some of you need to sit by water. Some of you need to use water therapy, okay? Listen to falling water, sit by a lake, sit by the ocean, go to the ocean. That's your happy place, okay? Whoever that's for. But if I'm able to get through my challenges and my grieving and my transitions and my hardships, you can do the same thing. you can do the same thing. And it does get easier. It doesn't mean that God isn't going to throw, or the enemy's going to try to throw some challenge in your way, or the enemy's going to try to knock you down. It doesn't mean that. It just means that you'll be able to handle it better. And you'll be able to see the purpose in it and gain the wisdom from it, because you are learning some valuable lessons. That you can overcome everything and anything, and that God is always there through the storms, through the joyous of days. And we still praise God, because if you're listening to this, He's giving you another day to live. And He's telling you, I'm not done with you yet. Some of you are going through these challenges and these griefs, and there's another plane. That's three times the charm. Let me see if I can see what airline that is. Guys, that's a second United airplane, so that's significant. I couldn't see what the second plane was. That's United Airline 133. There are some planes. Is that the residual sound? What is going on? Let me tell you, this is crazy. United 133. There's something about a United flight. Oh God, please do not tell me there's going to be a United airplane that might crash. Listen, I do not like giving these messages, but that's what just came through. Or some of you lost a loved one in a plane accident, a plane crash, or something with a United Airlines flight. I don't know, something with United Airlines. Some of you fly a United Airlines plane. Some of you work for them. You're a flight attendant. You work the runway. That's not for everybody, obviously, but it's hitting somebody. Somebody here works for United Airlines, or is a pilot or something like that. Anyway, I heard somebody's getting a divorce because you fly too much, or your hours or your time spent in the air, it's just not working for the family, and somebody's upset. Or you're a flight attendant and you're always traveling and somebody's upset about that. They want a divorce, or the child's upset. I don't know. That's something specific for someone. If this is not you, just leave that for the person who it's for. Because this person needs to hear this. Now, if you're the one who is like, I don't want to be a pilot anymore, I don't want to work for this airline, I don't want to work this job anymore, or I can't deal with this person doing this job anymore, whatever this is, trust your instincts, trust your intuition. Understand that while it's going to be difficult, there is joy that comes with this. While it's going to be difficult, God is going to bring you something, some renewal, some hope, something different, something better, something more aligned for you. And that doesn't mean whatever this is you're leaving behind or you're walking away from, it was a waste of time, or that, this sucks. Why'd I have to go through this? No, it's part of God's plan. It's part of your purpose. But God has these things come into our lives to get us to understand, hey, I'm God. I'm here. I'm everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. I'm in the birds, I'm in the trees, I'm in the water, in the fish, in those frogs that were back there, whatever that was. I'm in the air. I'm everywhere. It's ubiquitous, right? Omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient, okay? God just wants you to go to Him for everything. And God talks to me so profoundly when I'm out here. And I find so much peace here. And sometimes my passed on loved ones talk to me here. Sometimes God and the angels, they give me revelation. They give me other message, whatever it is. It calms me down. It reassures me of things. It helps me to recalibrate. It helps me to ground. Some of you need to ground. Cardinals are also a sign of grounding. Cardinals are also a sign of that you need to be your true, authentic self. And not be someone else, especially when you're in a relationship or in a partnership or in a friendship. You need to be true to you. Red, the color of courage, of confidence. You need to be courageous and confident in yourself to be yourself. And if someone doesn't like you for it, someone doesn't like what it is that you're doing, that gives you passion, that gives you joy, whatever, then they're not for you. And you're going to have to come to the realization that, you know what? I shouldn't be in this relationship. I shouldn't be in this job. I shouldn't be in this partnership, okay? I should break this off. As difficult as that is, guys, I had to go through this with my divorce, and I was married. I almost hit my 10-year wedding anniversary before I filed. I was the one who filed. And I have nothing against my ex-husband. I still don't to this day, right? It was difficult for all of us, including my son, and I believe he was 5 years old at the time. And my family looked at me like I was the stupidest person on the planet. I did something really wrong. Why are you doing this? You're going to ruin everybody's lives. And no. You know what the amazing thing is, guys, for those of you who are going through a divorce or whatever, or you're contemplating it, again, you take this back to God, but you have to, I asked God first what to do, and God said, go ahead through this, Jessica, because this is not for you anymore. My ex-husband and my son have changed in so many wonderful ways, and they learned a lot too, okay? It wasn't easy for any of us. It wasn't. But God ended up blessing us with amazing gifts, amazing blessings. We gained a lot of wisdom, all three of us, through that divorce, through our life changes, right? I gained a lot of wisdom about what I want in a relationship and how I need to be myself. And if someone can't like my crazy, blunt, like acting weirdo self, like yesterday, my partner and I were at Walmart picking up some things, and there was a giraffe in the baby aisle, a tall plush giraffe, and I went around, I looked like I was wrestling it, and then I ran riding the giraffe in the middle of the aisle, and my partner he recorded me, and he was laughing his ass off, and he took pictures, and I looked back at the pictures in the video, and we were just having the grandest of times. And I said, you know what, I love you so much because you love my craziness. So yeah, you are crazy. He's like, you are crazy, love, but I love that about you. I love your craziness. And I had never been in a relationship where someone really accepted me and loved me for my craziness, to include riding down the baby aisle in Walmart on the back of a giraffe that I somehow accidentally started to call it a camel. I'm crazy, but I love it, right? So this is encouragement for some of you. If someone doesn't like you for who you are, maybe you are crazy, maybe you are a little bit weird, if they don't love you for that, and that's what brings you joy, and that's what makes you feel completely like yourself, then those people aren't for you. And you shouldn't get butthurt about that. If people leave you, or people like, you know, they pretend that they like you, or they're like, I don't know what to do with this relationship, it's okay, right? There's someone for everyone. But I know for me, with how I am, I started to realize what was truly of value in my relationships. It's not about money. It's not about liking the same things every time, or doing the same things every time, or what gives my partner joy may not give me joy, or vice versa. It doesn't matter. But the important things, the simple things matter. Like, my partner can be crazy, and he cracks these crazy jokes, and sometimes his jokes really aren't that funny, but I'm looking at him like, you know what, wasn't that great? He's like, yeah, I know. And then we laugh about that too, you know what I mean? But he has a great sense of humor, and he's hysterical, and he comes out with these witty remarks. And see, now everything's chirping now, confirmation. This is God confirming, this is nature confirming to you, God's confirming, the angels are confirming, you gotta be your authentic self. You see how loud they're getting? They're getting loud because this is divine truth. You need to be yourself, and you got to stop being someone that you're not. And sometimes some of you, you speak truth. You're very blunt. You tell people the way it is. If some people don't like you for it, tough shit doesn't matter. Because that's Archangel Michael speaking through, saying, hey, it's going to trigger people. It may hurt a little bit, but that is for them to realize what needs to heal. That is for them to realize their truth, so that they could be more aligned with God's purpose for them, more aligned with who they really are. Because if you're living on this earth, 3333, as I say this on the timer, if you are on this earth and you are not aligned with who you really are, who God made you to be, you're not living life. You will never, ever, 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 ever be happy. You just won't. And that is the God honest truth. Because I know when I'm fully in myself and I'm doing what I love to do, especially coming out here, I love being out in nature. I don't have to do all these things. I don't have to answer to anybody but God. I know I'm responsible for things. I need to do things when God asked me to do things. But when God says to come here and to give this prophetic word, it's because all of you need this. And it's because all of you need to realize something about yourselves that you're afraid to face. and that you need to spend more time with God, and you need to let go of certain things, and you need to stop asking questions, or stop asking God why. Start asking God, how, God, can I overcome this? How can I be aligned with more of my authentic self? How can I be who I really am, who you made me to be, God? Not why am I like this, God? Ask him, how can I be more like myself, God? How can I be more of who you made me to be? And how can I deal with the opposition? And how can I deal with all the transgressions and the hardships and the challenges? How can I deal with the people who do not like me? How can I deal with, being shut out and being shunned and being ridiculed and being chastised and being exiled? Ask God those questions. Those are very wise questions to ask God, and God loves when we ask those questions. And sometimes he will give us the why when we're ready. Sometimes he'll give us the why when we understand why we're not experiencing these amazing things in life, because we have to understand that we are getting in our own way and that we are not being true to ourselves, and we're not having the courage and the confidence to be ourselves. God loves it when he looks at his children, what he molded, what he created. He looks back and says, that's a masterpiece. That is a work of art. And it still has flaws in it. That is my creation. And he loves it when we love ourselves for what he has created. And it allows us to be in such a great state of peace and gratitude and unconditional love and abundance in all forms, right? You can be the most broke person. I'll be very honest with you. I have 11 cents in my bank account right now, okay? Yes, I have a partner or whatever, but he's been blessing me with paying for the provision for other things. But as far as like the money and he gives me money to pay for my things, whatever, that stuff, right? I'm not saying he's a cheapskate, whatever. That's not the case. But for me not making my own money, I have 11 cents in my bank account, okay? Does it look like I have 11 cents in my bank account? Does it look like I'm upset? Does it look like I'm pissed off? Does it look like I'm trying to toil and labor and I'm spending this time talking to you right now by God's directive? I'm spending this time right now talking to you to give this prophetic word instead of looking for some 9-to-5 job or something to hold me over or something to make me feel better about myself or to make me look different in a different light with my partner, and for me to conform to the rest of society saying I need a job, but I'm just gonna get some job just so I can stop having 11 cents in my bank account. Absolutely fucking not. This is what I'm meant to do. This is what God calls me for. This is what gives me the ultimate joy, and this is who I am. And I love every bit of it. I love every piece of it. I love every second, every minute, every hour, every moment of what I do. And I'm not going to apologize to anyone, right? How I come across in these videos, how I'm going to disseminate this word, because I am being my own authentic self. And I'm not going to apologize to anyone or anything for being who God made me to be. And that includes me delivering messages that trigger people, that get people to be, they get butthurt, or they're like, they get angry about it, or they get irate about it, or it's like they don't want to face the truth. I am the truth seeker. I'm the truth deliverer. I'm very, very connected to Archangel Michael, and he speaks with me a lot, especially when these types of difficult words come through. That's Michael. He is the warrior. He is the 5-star general of the angelic realm, right? Whatever. He can't be passive. He can't be a pussy. He can't be soft all the time. Sometimes we have to be a little soft, but that's a different story. That's another prophetic message for another day. He can't be cowardly. Do you know what this earth would be like if Archangel Michael wasn't a hard ass? If he wasn't defending us the way he does? Do you know how much strength and courage and confidence and willpower and fortitude you need to have to face the devil day in and day out? This is what Michael wants us to be like. This is also what God wants us to be like. He wants us to be these warriors of light. He wants us to be able to put a foot on the ego. He wants us to be able to stand in our truth and to not apologize for it. And when we stop being triggered, when we stop looking at people like, oh, you're judging. Oh, you're too harsh. Oh, you're too mean. Oh, you're too negative. If you continue to look at my prophetic messages or other people's messages or other things out there in the world with that type of attitude, that is an opportunity for you to grow. It's an opportunity for you to put the mirror in your face and look at yourself and say, why am I getting like this? Why do I feel like I'm being judged? Why do I feel like why am I angry? Why am I bittered? Why is this bothering me so much? Why is this triggering me in the way that it does? And then take that back to God and ask him, God, remember I said, why is this triggering me, God? Why is this? And then you really listen to God and you start to be honest with yourself, honor your feelings. And then once you have the epiphany, once you understand the why, you go to God and say, how? How can I allow myself to stop being triggered, God? How can I stop being so angry when I get triggered? How can I stop feeling so triggered all the time? How can I stop reacting and learn to respond more instead of reacting? How can I be who I really am and not be afraid to be blunt, not be afraid to speak my truth, not be afraid to speak up, not be afraid to know what my truth is and what my path to joy is, not be afraid to follow my heart? When you do these things, guys, you're going to see a whole new you and you're going to see a completely different world. And even though the world may seem chaotic right now, you're going to be the one on this earth compared to many other people right now who will live in peace, joy, gratitude, happiness, and what's it called? Serenity. Serenity might be somebody's name. Understand that with where I'm sitting at right now, and don't be jealous of me or the people who get to spend time out like this and spend 41 minutes and 56 seconds talking to you and giving you a word and doing what God has called them to do. Don't get jealous, because you can do the same thing in some way, shape, or form. You just have to be honest with yourself and ask yourself, what do I need to let go of to get there? Who do I need to communicate with? Who do I need to get mentorship from or get taught from or learn from to be able to get to where that person is right there is where I want to be. I want to sit by nature. I want to hear the planes go by. Maybe some of you love to travel. Some of you love to take planes, whatever that is. That can be possible for you if you allow God in, if you allow yourself to face your truth and trust that what you're doing right now for most of you is not in alignment with your peace, your joy, and your happiness, which is not in alignment with God, and it's not in alignment with who you really are. You want to be a pilot, go be a pilot. Don't let anything stop you. You want to travel more, go do that. But ask God, God, how can I get there? What do I need to let go of? Who do I need to be to align with what brings me the ultimate joy? How am I going to put a barrier up to those who try to judge me because of I'm doing what God called me to do, because I'm doing what I love to do? Put your spiritual warrior on, ladies and gentlemen, and go out there and battle all these things that are trying to keep you down, that are trying to keep you from living your best life, to keep you from living as the one true, authentic, unique person God made you to be. That's all it takes. And you got to let go of your self-judgment. You got to let go of these people who are getting in your way. You got to let go of your own ego self who is getting in your way too. This is a time to reflect And this is a huge word from God. Go seek him out. Seek thee first the kingdom of God. Go seek him out here, just like Jesus always did. Go take a sea salt bath. Go to the ocean. Go to the lake. Go sit there. Don't think about anything and just listen to nature around you and see how God speaks to you. But pay attention to your surroundings, because God has been giving you the signs. He's been giving you the synchronicities. He's been giving you the messages, but you're too deaf to hear. And with that, I give you peace. I hope I illuminated your well-being. And I pray you have a glorious, glorious day.